and welcome. Well, this week I was inspired in my design by the state dinner at the White House, where I had the very wonderful opportunity to help with creating the centerpieces for the event. So what I wanted to do is use the flowers in the bundle in a way that is similar to the design that we did for the state dinner, so that you could practice yourself if you liked it. So the overall look, if you saw in the papers, or even if you don't care, I'll explain sort of what I'm doing here, is sort of a natural, earthy type of look. And the type of containers that we used were had pussy willows on the outside. They're really neat and sort of earthy. So what I did here today is something I thought you might be able to do at home, is I took just a regular square cube vase and I put some moss, and I just took a little wire and created almost like a collar of moss, and I'm just tucking it down around my vase. Then what I'm gonna do is make a little tape grid, okay? And of course it would have been nice if I had my tape ready to go. Here we go. And this is special florist tape. Well, it's not really that special, that's the big joke, is you can use Scotch tape at home, okay? So this is just, they sell it to florists, but really it's just tape, so go ahead and use some at home. And what we do here then is to take a few pieces of tape in one direction, and then we go in the other direction across. Here we go. And you want to make sure you have your water inside the vase before you do the taping part. If not, you could just use a little watering can to get it in there, but you know, you'll have the tape grid on top. So you want the water in the vase. If you were doing something different where you wanted to have a leaf wrapped in there, you'd want to do the leaf part first too, obviously. This sounds simple, but I have certainly forgotten myself, so I'm just warning you that the tape grid stays put. Once you have gone in both directions, you're going to tape once around the edge to make sure that the tape pieces don't fly up when you're putting your flowers. All right. There we go. Okay. Got this ready to go. Now, we have some really beautiful feather eucalyptus. This stuff is incredible. You're going to see in my next design, we're just going to use it as is, but right now I'm going to cut it down a little bit to get it in here. And I'll tell you, this is really neat because the shape that we did for the state dinner was neat. It was sort of off center and went like this with feathers. It was gorgeous. So I'm going to do a similar type of shape here and show you how to do that. So what I'll do is cut down my one piece here of eucalyptus into smaller pieces. Here we go. And then I can start to put them in. And again, I'm working on sort of an angle, so this is going to be higher and this part's going to flutter out. You'll see what I mean. Here's a great, nice long piece for my flutter. There's probably a technical term, but I like the word flutter. So we used feathers to get the same effect. And here we go. Feathery flutter, so it's actually, I didn't realize it till now, but it's perfect because it's called feather eucalyptus. How cool. All right. Sticking this in. This stuff will last too in your house, so it'll be nice. Even when the flowers die here, you'll be able to save the rest of this eucalyptus and use it somewhere else. Okay, we've got our feathery shape. Then what we're going to do is put in some of our flowers, gorgeous red hypericum berries. And the cool thing here is we can also get what I call double duty out of this, which is cut it here, use this piece, and because I put my tape in there, the flowers are going to stay where I put them, which is kind of nice. So that's the benefit of having some sort of tape grid or oasis, which is floral foam, or anything in the vase. It keeps your flowers in place, which sometimes is nice. A lot of times we'll use salal or other greenery to make a little sort of nest, and you don't need tape, but today we're using the tape. Okay. So I've got another berry here. Now, if you notice the shape here, this one's sort of flopping down. I can use this one to get the shape of the feathery feel here. Okay. And I have to say, it's such an honor to spend any time in the White House, and the chief florist there is really incredible, and it's inspiring to say the least. Here we go. Okay. And got my shape. We've got a few of these beautiful Alstroemeria, which are going to open up and get really nice. Stick this down in. Stick this in here. Okay. And I've got one more piece like this. Got my shape. Now it's time for the roses. Circus roses, so cool. They look like, you know, fire or something. This sort of yellow and then touched by red. They're gorgeous. And the name circus is pretty cool too. So we're gonna stick these in. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do one here. I've got all these guys, and they're gonna open up too, be a little bit bigger. And I'm trimming them down, throwing things on the floor. I'm a little messy when I work, but I can always clean it up. All right, I've got one longer one I'm gonna stick up here. And got one that's gonna go here, and one more guy right here. Okay, now let me take a look. I think I need a little bit more of my yug. Flutter out this way, and I have a few more pieces of Alstroemeria, which I'm going to use. Cut these guys down, stick them in here, maybe one more piece here, and finally I have a little bear grass, and I'm going to just flip this over in my hands, make some loops. I'm twisting the bottom around to sort of hold my loops in place. Quick trim on the bottom, and I'm going to stick some of my bear grass right in here just to add a little oomph to this arrangement. Okay. And similarly, I'm going to do a touch of this on the bottom. Like this. And if I have pieces that flitter up, I'll just trim them, okay? Voila, there's one arrangement. Now, the last thing I want to do quickly is show you that I've got some tall things, and I'm going to do a different style here where I've got some of this cool wire, okay? And you can get wire like this at your hardware store, colored picture hanging wire, anything that's kind of fun like this. And I just have a big vase. I'm sticking my wire in there. Then, this is how simple it is. I'm playing off that same sort of design shape. I'm going to take some of my eucalyptus, tuck it in, and flip some over, and have some flying out. Easier said than done. Yes, that's what I want. Woo! Here we go. Then, before I run out of time here, my gladiolas are going to go right in and shoot out the side. I'm going to have some bear grass fluttering out this way. Similar design style in sort of a more modern look. That's what's so fun. You can take the same sort of ideas and translate them from modern to traditional, and it's fun to play around with.